Welcome. Another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana, learning about yourself, learning about the cosmos, and how those two interact, usually through the lens of the Bhagavad Gita. But we may not refer to that text as much today because we're taking some of our questions for today and tomorrow, maybe a couple more days. And I love that you send questions. Feel free, you can use like the link below to get to our website, and there's a contact us form that you can send your questions anytime, or you can comment in the comments and I'll see that and respond. So yesterday we were talking a bit about the idea of magic numbers and that everything can be sentient, including numbers or words. And we'll follow up on that a little bit. This is of special importance to me in a way because I was born the same year that Sesame Street came out. And if any of you've watched that, every episode was brought to you by a letter and a number. So today we'll say our video is brought to you by the letter C and the numbers 4 and 3. Now, I mentioned something special about numbers, and I love the comment, especially that Deb Smith put in about, the number of stitches on the baseball is 108, which is a very special number in yoga. And actually, I had the pleasure of working at one time with a woman named Mary. She's one of the people to whom today's video and practice are dedicated. And she was an editor. And at the time she passed, she was actually working on editing a book that said that each letter in the Sanskrit alphabet was actually the vibration of a goddess or of a divine feminine attribute. I thought, that's amazing. I mean, it speaks to me of if we look for the sacred in anything, the number of stitches on a baseball, the letters in an alphabet, we can find it. And this is such an important part of spiritual training. Wednesday, in our intermediate yoga class, we were talking about Agnya Chakra, which many people think of chakras as, these invisible things you can't find. They swirl around, they're energy centers. But they have physiological components, and the location of the Agnya Chakra, the chakra in the head that is connected to the third eye, it's linked to the thalamus. And the thalamus in the brain is this wonderful, it does so many things. Let's focus on the one thing before I really go off piste and rejoice in anatomy. One of the things the thalamus does is it lets you fine-tune your attention, almost like tuning in one of those old-fashioned radios that you have to tune the dial. So that, for example, if you are in a crowded room, you can choose to focus on the person sitting right in front of you and what they're saying. Or if something scandalous seems to be happening in the background, you can put your hearing on that, and you'll probably miss what the person in front of you is saying, but you'll get that good juicy gossip from over there. And if you've never thought about it, this is an incredible power of the human brain, but it needs to be managed, especially in spiritual life. So for example, I can look at nothing in the world is sacred, nothing. And if I do, my thalamus, because that's what I want to focus on, is going to help me pick out those bits of information to reinforce that idea. If I focus on the idea that everything is sacred, even numbers, even letters, my thalamus will help me connect to that idea. And this is also why we often say in spiritual study that attitude is so important. Attitude toward others and yourselves. You can see the world as something that's against you and is trying to break you, and your brain is going to help you find evidence of that, and it's going to seem real to you. Or you can think the world is helping me, the world is for me, and your brain will help you find evidence. The thing is, you have to do this. If you don't do this consciously, your subconscious takes over. So what you've been taught as a child or a youth, or what you've absorbed growing up, if you have absorbed the idea that everybody's bad, if you're not consciously thinking, I'm going to look for the good in people, that default is going to click in, and you're going to see the bad in everybody. So when we talk about things being sentient or sacred in this world, or the world itself being sacred, or there's a divine hand at work, we can find that or we cannot. And that's part of the idea of the Gita. In the Gita, we have a choice. What do we want to focus on? Arjun can focus on his fear and his feeling of cowardice, or he can focus on his skill and his destiny. Which one? And that's up to us. So we start with our balance pose, because balance poses help discipline and focus the mind. We'll discipline that mind, and then we'll choose what to do with that. I might. Switch sides. Wonderful. Now that we're focused in the power of our mind, let's choose how we want to direct that focus. So for the next 5 minutes, I invite you to contemplate, how do you want to tune into the world today? What do you want to find in the world? It's up to you. 5 minutes. Our time of contemplation is up. I'm so curious as to how you choose to see the world now. Feel free to share it with me. I can tell you that I've got two very angry squirrels back here. I don't know if you can hear them on the video, but I think lately they're choosing to perceive me as a threat to eat their acorns, and I'm not. You can have them all. One's looking right at me and twitching his little tail. You probably can't see him. Anyway, little vicious dude. Oh no, he's in the sun. Anyhow, may you choose something that you wish. May you evoke your free will to see the world as you like. And the other person I'm dedicating today's practice to is Stephen Vogt, who chooses to see the good in others, and that has affected not just him, but many, many people around him. So, to him, to Mary, to all of you, thank you. And I can't wait to see you again soon. We'll talk about children next. And until then,